And we're still in Nigeria. We're looking at NNPC, where for the first time in 44 years, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) has made plans to declare its dividends to Nigerians. Now, the group managing director, Melele Kiari, announced this at the Nigerian Annual International Conference and Exhibition organized by the Society of Petroleum Engineers.
Now, he set the corporation's 2020 financial statements, which will be released in the third quarter of this year, will come with unprecedented news. Now, well, to really help us dissect this issue and better understand what it means for the average Nigerian, we are joined this morning by Adeola Yusuf. He is an energy policy analyst. Welcome to Breakfast Central, Adeola Yusuf, to this breakfast show this morning. Are you there, Adeola?
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning and good morning, viewers. So good to be on the program this morning.
Good morning, Adeola. Now, in 44 years, we're about to witness first of its kind, this major event that talks about dividends to Nigeria. Can you tell us what this all means for NNPC to come out and declare dividends to Nigerians?
Okay, thank you so much again. If you look at it very, very well, in the history of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, we have, been having some things in recent past that are unprecedented. And there is no way you are going to, detach this from the leadership of the GMD, Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Malam Mele Kolokiyari. You have to, because as analysts, where corporation or institutions are not doing it right, we have to say it. And where they are doing it right, we have to say it. Okay, so for the first time ever in the 44-year history of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, we are having the monthly financial and operational reports being published every month. For the first time ever as well, we have the 2018 audited report of the corporation published. We had that of 2019 published. But let me quickly make some clarification in the difference between the 2018 and 2019 audit. In the 2018 audit, we saw clearly, every Nigerian saw what's really happening in the NNPC, because for over 40 years, we couldn't see what is happening in the NNPC. So the audited report was published in, we saw that NNPC was actually running at a huge loss. So in 2019, a lot of people criticized Mele Kiari, and those that understood that, how transparency and accountability works, said that, okay, wait for this guy. He has been able to open the door of the NNPC to everybody to see. So wait for him. So in 2019, another audited report published, 2019 audited report published, showed that there was a reduction in that, losses recorded in 2018. And a lot of people still criticize them, but we understood is that if that is open for everybody to see, that will put the NNPC, we made the NNPC to sit tight to make sure that things are done right. So the news that we have just had yesterday from the GMD is that the 2020 audited report to be published, shows that the NNPC, as for the first time ever in 44 years of its existence, recorded profit. And that will now mean that it is after you have recorded a profit that, dividend will be paid. But there is a caveat on that. It is a report that is yet to be published. Fine, the GMD of NNPC, has, all the privileges to have seen what is in that report. But I understand that before a declaration of dividend is made, a lot of processes, usually, go on. But there's a sharing news, by the way, it's a sharing news that things like that are happening, and you will not fault the GMD of NNPC. You have seen that for the first ever in 44 years, you have recorded, profit, and there is likelihood of a dividend being paid, to Nigeria. You understand? You are likely to quickly go ahead and, break that news. But I want us to just receive that news with, cautious optimism.
Perhaps a pinch of salt, if you may, Adeola. All right, so the NNPC, from what you were talking about, made profits based on, some of the recent audits has gone, which is quite rare. Now, considering it has, really, in terms of refineries, not really making money in terms of operations, where do we go from here? for the NNPC going forward? Because does it mean that we'll have to perhaps expect more dividends, more profit making from this Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation that's looked like a real gamut of an organization that for 44 years we couldn't even see what's going on in there?
Yes, thank you so much. What transparency does to a corporation or to an individual is that it makes you to be conscious of the fact that a lot of people are already, watching you. Now, with what NNPC will do by declaring that dividend, by making profit, what it will mean is that if you look at that, that history from 2018 audited report, 2019 audited report, now to 2020 audited report, what we are likely to see now is that people will now start asking questions. The profit you declared in 2020, that the one you will declare in 2021 shouldn't be less than the one you declare in 2020. And with that, sense, it means that a lot of positives are happening to Nigeria. Not talking about the refineries. The refineries are in comatose. Everyone knows this, and we are aware that a lot of efforts are being made to ensure that the refineries are back on track. There is this 1.5 billion rehabilitation effort. Contract has been awarded for the Port Harcourt refinery. We are told that a lot of efforts are ongoing as well on the other two refineries, the one in Kaduna and the one in Warri.
Yeah.
So we are part of all this. And another thing that we are so happy to know is that aside from the refineries that the Nigerian government hold tight on its armpit, we are having private refineries and we are having competition. So what competition does is to ensure efficiency and to ensure that every party that are competing sit tight and try to outdo the other positively. So
right.
That refinery is still very, very questionable. The state of the refinery is still very, very questionable. But now that we will know how much has been expended on that refinery and how much the refinery has been, we'll be able to recoup. Now that we are going to know all this, it is going to be very, very positive to Nigerians. It is important that I quickly mention this. You will understand that everyone got to understand or got to know that the Nigerian refineries, particularly the Port Harcourt refineries, at some point spent over 15 billion naira, monthly, whereas it refined zero petroleum product because of the accountability and transparency in the NNPC, because we have been able to through their monthly report since that this is happening. So with recurrency or with repeated exposure to all these reports as a result of transparency, I believe a lot of questions are going to be asked and a lot of answers are going to be provided.
Right.
All in all, it's going to be to the benefit of all Nigerians.
No, Adiola, there's a lot to question about our refineries, especially the 3 government-owned refineries that the NNPC is managing. You just mentioned them, Port Harcourt, Warri, and the Kaduna refineries. It says a lot about the oil sector in our country. But you know what? We will bring you again next time on the program to expatiate and to talk more, especially as regards energy, zero carbon, and our earnings in the oil sector. Thank you so much, Adiola Yusuf, for coming on the program today.
Thank you so much for having me. My pleasure always.